And here we are live.
All right. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers. Check it out. We're going to be talking about Canadian whiskey tonight.
Say it ain't so.
Yeah. And I went earlier and I picked up a bottle of Canadian whiskey. And I looked online. I got a little allergy thing going with my right eye over here. So I feel great. I feel fine. I just got a little napkin here. Every once in a while I need to get it's like I've been cutting onions only on the right side.
That's weird.
Yeah, and my right nostril, a little bit. But I'm allergic to something in here. I got to figure out what it is.
Yeah, some sort of dust or mold or something, possibly.
Possibly somewhere, something. I don't know, but it didn't do this to me. This specific thing till I got back from my ride. From my trip. Old bones.
Old dragon bones.
Old dragon bones. All right. So for the Canadian whiskey, what I'm sipping on now, and I can tell you I'm enjoying it, is 40 Creek Barrel Select. They call it this particular one, they put Niagara whiskey on there.
Okay.
And it doesn't say all the stuff that goes in it, but we'll get into more of that later. Right. But I think it has a little sherry in it.
Okay.
And I'll explain that later. But, it says on here, proudly Niagara, distinctly smooth, but whatever, Mm-hmm. So, whatever. I looked it up, and 40 Creek was supposed to have been a pretty good sipping whiskey. What's up, Sean Holtgrave? We got Peter White,
Orlando,
Sugar Kitty. You're here. Big Daddy H is here. Mr. Mom is here. So we
Marty
are
was here earlier. I'm going to start off with this Pendleton.
Okay.
Military edition.
Is that a rye?
No, I think it's a bourbon.
Okay.
But
the green throws me off.
It's sourced in Canada, so just proof down with what is this? Wyoming? Or where is this? Bottled by Hood River Distilleries. Cut with the finest spring-fed water from Oregon. Oregon's highest peak, Mount Hood.
Mount Hood, okay.
And they proofed the heck out of that water because they proofed it down to 80 proof.
All right. Captain Chickencock's here, the gripologist. Joe's
she
in
was kind of light, too. Hey there, gripologist. Good to see you.
All right. Well, I'm playing around with StreamYard here before I cancel it. I need to cancel it very soon. But I'm playing around with this as a layout.
Okay.
The problem is when I take the slide down, it doesn't revert back to this. I have to do it manually. So what I can do is say, all right, I'm going to show a slide, and I can do this and pop it up there.
Okay.
That way, we're still the same size. So if I forget to take the slide down, it's not really shrinking us all that much. But we're going to be talking about Canadian whiskey.
Well, there ain't nothing to that one.
Oh, wow.
That's super light. There's hardly anything to that at all, but it's a little bit of vanilla.
3 more weeks. All right. Alberta Premium Ruined. Yeah, there you go. So yeah. I looked up, I tried to be crafty, and I Googled Canadian slang that has to do with whiskey. And, of course, came up a lot. But fill your boots, I guess, is a saying. I don't know. Do we have Canadians in there? Yeah, I hadn't either. So fill your boots. Put that up there. Well, they call some I think sizes of whiskey they call boots, like so many boots or whatever. What I don't know. I didn't spend a ton of time on it.
I got you.
Quickly. But in the
Well,
vein,
can't spend a whole lot of time on Canadian whiskey. I mean, some of it's pretty decent, but
I have
most of the good.
here,
Wow.
of information. I mean,
I've been producing for quite a while now.
Some of this may be repetitive or superfluous, but I've got information here to share. So let's start off though talking about generally. Okay, so Canadian whiskey is known for its versatility, light and smooth flavor profile, and distinct production methods. Unlike other types, the term rye whiskey is often used interchangeably with Canadian whiskey, even if rye is not the primary grain. Canadian law provides distillers with a high degree of flexibility in creating unique blends. Now, that's a very important point because most Canadian whiskeys are blended whiskeys, composed of individual grain whiskeys that are fermented, distilled, and aged separately before being blended by a master blender. Grains. While a mix of grain like corn, rye, wheat, and barley are common, the base whiskey is often a high proof corn spirit, which is then blended with lower proof flavoring whiskeys.
Wow.
All right. This is just the general information. Aging. Here's where we get into some of the rules. All Canadian whiskeys must be aged for a minimum of 3 years in Canada in small wooden barrels under 700 liters.
Wow.
So surface area is big.
Didn't help it much.
No,
at least this one.
Well, the finished product, and it's the same. The finished product must be bottled at a minimum of 40%, which is the 80 proof. So, that's all whiskey.
Yeah.
Additives. Producers are permitted to add up to 9.09% of other spirits, coloring, or flavoring, such as sherry or other wines, as long as these additions are aged for at least 2 years. So if they put a blend in a barrel and it stays there for 3, I guess 1 year in, they can put this stuff in and leave it for 2 more. I don't know. So there's that. But that's what brings me to that point. This practice allows for a wide range of flavor experimentation.
That's good.
The final thing on here is about the spelling. Like Scotch, Canadian whiskey is traditionally spelled without the E. And this bottle actually has no E whiskey on it.
Yeah. 2 of mine don't have the E. The first one I started out with, the Pendleton. I guess that's how you pronounce it. It doesn't have the E and the whiskey part there.
Yeah. He said Jim Leahy approves of Alberta Premium, eh?
Of course he does. But this one here, this Pendleton Military Edition, I wouldn't have gone that far. 80 proof, and it tastes like water.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even check the proof on this.
It's hardly
any. Oh, it's 80. Flavor. It's 80. Oh, and I'm telling you right now, this 40 Creek, now that I know for sure it's 80, it's surprisingly good. The reason I think this has sherry in it, because the only other whiskey that I get the flavor profile I'm getting from this is that Kansas City whiskey, which is permitted to contain up to 2% sherry.
Yeah.
But the one I get contains 1% sherry in it. So they combine, J. Rieger's combines their 6-year bottled and bond with their I forget the other whiskey, and then they add 1%.
Speaking of J. Rieger's,
12-syllable fancy ass name wine barrels. Yeah. Just saw it. Okay, I saw it announced online today. Yeah, unfortunately, I was only in Kansas City when I went to visit. I drove up on a Friday,
Cheers,
which took
Wally.
me about all day to get there. Well, 7 hours, about 7 hours. So a work day, and I
Yeah.
stopped to eat. But I I got there and then we rode a little bit that evening, just going because I didn't have like the really sore ass because that's your 1,000 miles,
Yeah.
but we went and ate sushi and bought some beer and went back to the house. But on Saturday we went riding and we did a day ride, and then we went out to eat that night, and then I got up the next morning early and left
There you go.
to make it back. I didn't leave super early because I didn't have my thermal gloves with me, and it's 52 degrees at 7.
That's a
And
little nippy.
I was looking on my phone. It said 52 degrees feels like 52 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah,
at
unless you're
about
on a bike in the wind.
at 7:40, I checked my phone and it said 54 feels like 52.
Yeah.
I checked it at like 8 o'clock and it said 56 feels like 52. I'm like, when's the feel like gonna go?
Yeah. It's a little dry.
Yeah,
There
I
you
ended
go.
up
See,
I
let's
ended up
discuss.
leaving at 9.
Let's discuss which Canadian whiskey pairs best with poutine. All of
Oh,
them do.
I think this one would. I do. With that little
Yeah.
pecan hit to it.
This this Pendleton. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, it doesn't taste like hardly anything. There's a little bit of vanilla, and that's just about it, really. It's maybe a little bit of a caramel and just not much. They proofed it down. They took all the flavor out of it. It's
Yeah.
like get a nice 130 proofer and then pour most of the water in there, and you can't taste anything.
Well, if, as I suspect, this 40 Creek has that sherry in it, I think it needed to be proofed down some.
Mm.
I'm hoping. It really, honestly, it tastes not as forward as the J. Riegers, not quite, but it has that kick to it and I really like it. And the only thing my brain can compare it to is like a sweet pecan, like a pecan pie type.
Oh,
You
gotcha.
know,
Well, yeah. Shoot, what was I going to say? The only one that I had that I could
Gretzky oak
swore
roots whiskey.
had sherry in it was that Stranahan's that I got when I was out in Colorado a couple of years ago. It was their sherry finished one, and
Yeah,
I swear it definitely must have had some sherry in it, or the sherry barrel that they aged it in still had sherry in the barrel when they put the whiskey in it,
right.
because it was really sherry forward. I mean, like all in your face.
Yeah, this is very subtle, but it's there, and I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this was $22. But guys, when I went and I went to the ABC store and I found the Canadian section, the entire top shelf, and this is one of those low shelves, in the middle of the liquor store, about waist high. The entire top shelf was every flavor of Crown Royal. The next shelf down was every flavor of Canadian Mist, and then the bottom shelf had a couple of things on it, and it wasn't like they didn't have it ranked bottom shelf. They just put the Crown Royal up top because that's what people reach for.
There you go.
And that the prices were all over the place, but nothing was really super expensive.
Okay. Well, that's good, Lori. At least we're sounding good now.
Oh, okay. Well,
Let's
I didn't
see.
reboot my router either before the show. So,
Having a pour of Gretzky Oats Groats
yeah,
whiskey. Never heard of that one.
they did not
126
have that
proof,
available.
6 year old with oats in it. Okay. Well, heck yeah, that'll work. We'll just going to hit some Sam's, Costco in Springfield, Missouri, and a Costco in Davenport, Iowa, along with Total Wine Plus 2 or 3 over. Yeah, there you go. Find you some good stuff.
There you go, man.
And I still have 2 bottles of Alberta Premium Cask Strength Rye. Oh, wow. Okay.
Goodness gracious, Nat.
Why, yes, Sugar Kitty. All the whiskeys go good with poutine.
You know what goes good with poutine? A night of drinking, and that's what you have to eat at midnight while you're vegging out on some YouTube stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Everything goes good with poutine.
Wake up in the morning and half the poutine in front of your shirt, and you got a couple of French fries in your lap, and you can't remember what you've watched.
Yep. There you go.
That's what goes best with poutine.
Gritsky, the great one, eh?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pour a special one. I have a bottle of Seagram's VO, but what makes it more special, besides being a twist off, is this one I got from Bourbon, and he found it up there in New York, 1963.
Damn.
Is the vintage on this one.
Oh, I'm gonna while you're pouring
that. It was made in what? Was it 6 years old? So it was made in what, 57, something like that. Bottle or barreled and then poured into the bottle in 1963.
I'm showing a slide I made because I forgot to bring it up when I was going over the key characteristics. But there, we've done it. But look, I can move us up and I can move us back down.
1963. Look at the color on this thing. Still good.
Good. All right. You give us the verdict on that.
And better nose than the Pendleton. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, I'm not really the biggest Seagram's guy now. I used to be back in the day. That was one of the drinks that me and my buddy, John, we used to drink Seagram's all the time. We drank Seagram 7 mainly. Was our drink, not the VO. We didn't find that one very often.
Yeah, my next door neighbor was a 7 and 7 girl.
Mm-hmm.
Seagram 7 Up.
Yeah, that was my drink way back in the day until I found Wild Turkey 8-year-old. That's when it was still around. You know, it's coming back out now. You know, it's finally returning the 8-year-old 101 proof.
Yeah.
Boy, it's still got a dang good nose for it.
Okay.
For 1963 vintage. It's light. I mean, it's not a whole lot to it. What's the proof on this thing? 86.8.
Okay. Well, that's getting close to 90.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Closer.
E150 goes a long way. It don't take much neither. Oh, well, it's real light. Drinks under the proof. Sweet. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of barrel. Not much.
Okay.
On the back end, there's a little bit of it. A little fruity too. Like some pear, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But it's not bad. I mean,
you're getting more than you got out of the other one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, as old as it is, holy crap, I'm surprised that it even tastes like anything, really.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you right now, if you this was so cheap, I have to recommend it. This was $22.
$22 for a fifth?
$22 for this. Now,
dang.
Let me screw the top off back on, but we don't care about that.
No, I don't care. I mean, if you got a screw off top, you don't have to worry about cork rot.
But I'm telling you right now, that is a decent sipper for, you know, just pour it neat. I wouldn't put this over ice because I don't think it would lose it. Yeah, it would get lost. But yeah, for just sipping neat out of a glass, I think this might be an entry level. You know, if you got if you learn to sip on, say, McAfee Benchmark,
Mhm.
from Buffalo Trace as like a low end 80 proofer, if you can do that, you can do the 80 proof Jack. You can do, but they don't have all the notes this has. This has more notes to it than those, and it
Yeah.
has that good. I'm going to go ahead and call it a sherry note because that's what I associate with it.
Gotcha.
Um,
Dang.
but it's really light and it's good.
Peter White has a bottle of the Alberta Premium 30-year-old. It was
Dude.
$52 Canadian in 2009. That's cheap for 30-year-old. Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's got much color to it after being 30 years in the barrel. Geez, it should.
Well, I'll tell you this: they had an 18-year up there. It was a Crown Black Reserve, whatever, 18-year,
Yeah.
and they wanted fucking $89. And I'm like, I'm not paying 90 goddamn dollars for a bottle of Crown Royal. I just couldn't do it. But in the scheme of things, 18-year for $90, depending on what it is, that's not a super outrageous price if it's good. But
It's just got a perfume note off of that. That's odd. It's like a little bit of grandma's perfume.
well, and I didn't want to buy a Crown because everybody said in America, "Oh, Crown Royal." If you say Canadian whiskey,
Yeah. Well,
and I wanted to get something maybe people haven't heard. Well, and I knew about 40 Creek, but I've never had it before, and I'm pleasantly surprised with it.
15 to almost 20 years ago, Crown and Coke was one of my
Mhm.
go-to drinks. I would go through lots of Crown, but
Oh, and if I'm
it
out
was
somewhere and
mixing it
there's
with.
not a big selection, I'll get Crown. I mean, hell, I won't. I mean,
I
it's not.
won't anymore. I mean, once I got into drinking whiskey neat, in a Glen or
Mhm.
on the rocks or something like that, I I went back and tried Crown neat, and
Oh
I
no,
don't like it. I really don't.
no. Let me rephrase that. If put it to you this way, if they really don't have a good selection of anything, but they have Maker's Mark, which
Hmm.
some people will roast me and say, "Oh, Maker's Mark, what's wrong with Maker's Mark?" But it's not the best whiskey out there. I like Maker's Old Fashions. Uh,
I got you.
when they only do the citrus in it with like a cherry, and that's with a little simple syrup, but don't overpower it. Just put a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it enhances the whiskey a little.
yeah,
And then if they have I would pick Knob Creek over Crown Royal if I was going to sip something, and that's all they had.
yeah.
Um,
And I mean, Knob Creek, the normal was it like the 9-year or something like that? It's
yeah,
not bad.
90 or 100 proof or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I recently found not recently. It's probably been earlier this year or last year. I found the 12-year-old Knob Creek, and that's a huge step up from the 9.
Hmm.
It's a much better flavors as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I know I've told this story before, but in the 70s, from the 60s to the 70s, somewhere in the 60s,
Yeah.
people quit drinking whiskey out
Hmm.
at the bars. They started doing foo-foo drinks, right?
Yeah. Real
And it was a lot of vodka and
vodka
all
and
that.
mixed drinks.
And whiskey suffered bad during that period because the 50s, the whiskey boomed. Mad Men with everybody had the whiskey decanter and they would pour a little. Um, and good premium whiskey was there. Well, in the 70s, Stitzel-Weller was having a hard ass time, and they had bought barrels of what would be Pappy Van Winkle that they couldn't get rid of, and they sold a crap ton of it to uh, a company in Canada, and they made Crown Royal with it. Now
Uh-huh.
it was blended, but over the years, Crown Royal used up all of that Pappy Van Winkle stock. Those barrels that would have been Pappy Van Winkle, and whiskey made a comeback. And so, if you go research this, you'll see it. I'm telling it very generally. I don't have a photographic memory, but I remember reading all this, and Crown Royal then started to suffer because they were running out of that premium Stitzel Weller stock, and so they started trying to introduce other blends into it, and then they came out with Crown Reserve, which they were reserving those Stitzel barrels back to blend with, and calling it Reserve, and then they started running out of that. And that's when all the Crown Apple and Peach and all that, because they were just trying to stay relevant in the world. Well, now Crown Royal's not what it used to be. It's just, it's not what it used to be. Now, I don't know about an 18-year or 20-year or whatever,
Well, some of that might be.
That old stock, you might be still getting some of that blend in there. But yeah, go look it up. You can find all you want. I may even do a show just on Stitzel Weller. And like all of the branches from Stitzel Weller that went out when Buffalo Trace got it and bought all that. And, so.
There you go. Why would anybody buy a Canadian whiskey mixer and drink it neat beyond me? I kind of agree. Because a lot of that stuff they're coming out with now, I mean, it's a mixer, the chocolate, the raspberry, all these other different flavored things.
No,
I like my whiskey to taste like whiskey, not like some weird flavored thing.
Yeah, if I want peach in it, I'll put peach. I'll get a syrup and pour in there and mix it. But I don't, so I don't. Yeah.
Now I did have a peach flavored one from my buddy down in Florida. But it was a moonshine.
Yeah,
and it was quite tasty. I tasted it. I'm like, wow, it is really peachy. I said, here, I told my wife, Chris, I said, here, try this, see what you think. She's like, oh, I really like that. I'm like, well, here, take the rest of this sample, because all I had was like a little 2-ounce sample of it. So
when I went to visit my son, he has a half bar comes out in his kitchen. He's got a galley kitchen type thing, in there, sink, refrigerator, stove, and all that, on both sides. But he's got this bar that comes out, and he had a bottle of Screwballs sitting there.
Oh, gee. Yeah.
And I was like, I had never had any Screwballs. So I grabbed a little glass, and I've just poured like a teeny bit in it.
Yeah.
It was tolerable. It tastes like peanuts. It tastes like peanut butter.
It's like peanut butter.
It's pretty good, but my God, that glass was so fucking sticky. That thing is 90% sugar. I mean,
it's that is good in a mix. Like a really like mixed drink that you're gonna have add like a little bit of maybe half and half or something to the drink. And blend it up with some ice to make like a slushy sort of thing out of it.
What I wanted to do with it was I wanted to go get a Godiva chocolate liqueur and make a peanut butter cup with it.
Oh, I've done that. That's good. Yeah. I mean, it's an odd mixed drink, and you're not going to have but like maybe one
and
most
that's it.
2 of them. Because it's so sweet and just mouth coating and cloyingly sweet.
Oh, it is. It is annoyingly sweet, is what it is. But I poured some because that was a good little. I mean, I poured probably a half an ounce of it, and in a larger, a rocks glass, and I just kind of sipped on it, and then we went to eat and everything because I needed something to calm my nerves a little bit after being on that bike all that time.
Yeah,
and that did the trick. But no, I thought it was a nice touch. He had that bottle sitting there. But if Blake hears this show next time, just have some Elijah Craig sitting there or something. I'll just pour a little teeny bit of that, and I'll be good.
Crown and Bailey's tastes like a malted milk ball. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, the new Crown Blackberry.
Since we are talking about Canadian whiskey, I was gonna say, if I went to a place and all they had was Crown, I'm talking regular old Crown Royal.
Yeah.
I don't mind Crown and ginger ale. I like a little
Yep.
spritz of ginger ale in it. I think it brightens it up.
Yeah.
You don't get stuck on trying to find notes of whiskey because there's
No,
just not many. Uh,
no. Your regular Crown is good for a mixer,
yeah.
and it's good that way. It's sweet though. The oats. Oh, really? Let's go to JT Melick. Okay, I like that one. I mean, for a rice whiskey, it comes across as a really good bourbon. It really does. I like it.
All right. Well,
My
let's
Go
get
ahead.
into the next section of this stuff here, and we this will be a one we can do in little chunks as we go through
Hmm.
till we get to the last section. But this is artistic practices. This is supposed to be supposedly uh that Canadian whiskey prides themselves on having this leeway with the rules
Hmm.
to produce artistic masterpieces. We will
Okay.
see.
Well,
All right, so I'll read this first part, and we can and we can discuss. Unlike other whiskey traditions. Oh, wait. I forgot. I got to start with this part. While Canadian whiskey often gets a bad rap, does it really? I guess. Okay.
yeah,
It
most
does.
of the time.
There is much to learn from the uniquely artistic distilling practices of Canadian whiskey companies. Okay.
Okay.
Canadian whiskey's unique artistry stems from its flexible regulations, which allows distillers to combine creative blending, innovative aging techniques, and the influence of Canada's diverse territories. This provides I don't want to say terroir. I hate that word.
Terroir.
Yeah, terroir. It's their territories. This provides a broader
Nerd.
canvas of experimentation compared to more restrictive spirit categories like bourbon or scotch. All right,
Hmm.
so now that we have that general shit out of the way, artistic blending methods is the first one.
Okay.
Unlike other whiskey traditions where grains are mixed before fermentation, Canadian distillers typically ferment, distill, and age different grains separately. This
Yep.
creates distinct building blocks that a master blender can use to craft a spirit with a precise and unique flavor profile.
Hmm.
Then we have base versus flavoring whiskeys.
Yeah.
A high proof, milder tasting base whiskey, often corn based, is blended with lower proof, more intensely flavorful whiskeys, often rye based. This artistic control is highly prized and allows for a wide variety of expressions from light and smooth to rich and spicy. And then we get to that 9.09 rule again,
Hmm.
which allows them to add addition of just call it 9%. I mean 9.09. I guess that's metric versus whatever it is, but the 9.09% of other aged spirits or wine to the final blend. While controversial to some purists, this allows for unprecedented creativity. Distillers can add sherry, bourbon, or other spirits to achieve complex and non traditional flavor combinations. So there we go. We have that part. So we've talked about it generally, and we've talked about the artistic blending there.
Okay.
Now,
And
this is a blend.
it's interesting that they'll actually do that, and then it does give you a lot better way of blending. But I think they need better blenders. I think they need to import some of the Japanese blenders and have them say, okay, here, try some of this, try some of that. Now blend it all together and make something nice.
Yeah.
I think they would have wind up with a better whiskey if they had some Japanese help in the blending process.
Yeah. And I think too, the cold numbs you. And they're cold up there.
Yeah, they want something like what I'm fixing to drink right now. This one, the old Dragon Bones.
Old Dragon Bone.
Now, this one here is a 18-year-old Canadian whiskey, blended, of course, with Canadian whiskey, but it's 136.4 proof. So that's what you need when you're up in Canada. You know, you want something
Crown Vanilla and Coke.
Because it's cold and nasty up there most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the year it gets cold and nasty. So you want something with some kick to it, warm you up a little bit,
So Crown Blackberry.
Mm-hmm. That's the big fad nowadays.
I like raspberry, blackberry. I like the wild berry stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a mix I grew up in Arkansas in my youth, and we always had wild berries that grew along fence rows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, mixed, and I called them it was almost like mixed berries because they would ripen, and some of them would be red, and some of them would be dark black.
Yep.
But they were all ripe, and they were on the same freaking vine. And man, we used to eat those. Now, if you eat too much, it'll give you a bellyache. But
well, it's like eating apples out of the tree. Little crab apples and things like that. Eat too many of them. They'll get to you. But that's the same thing with anything. Even the John Cranes. Cheers, brother.
I got into the Jim Beam ones. I was buying the different flavors. I went through all the flavors of Jim Beam, and they have the.
Oh, yeah.
What are you? Well, okay, we're gonna pause. What are you thinking?
Oh, that's different. Well, the 136 proof's got a little bit of kick to it, anyways.
Oh, okay.
But
there you go.
I got like a little sherry hit.
Uh-huh.
Along with the normal, normal barrel stuff that you would normally get. The vanilla, the caramel.
Yeah. How do you interpret that sherry kick? In your like if you had to put a word to, like, I say pecan, I get a little pecan sweetness, like a hint of or whatever.
And it's a little kind of sour with I don't know. It's kind of slightly fruity, to a degree.
But that Oloroso is what I'm talking about.
I think that's.
I don't know.
This may have some in it. Let's see here. Oh, finish Oloroso sherry.
I think our brains interpret it differently.
Yeah.
I think my brain goes more to sweet nuttiness, and yours goes to sour grapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm catching more of the like a wine finish on this sherry. Mash bill on this one was 39% corn, 53% rye, 8% malted barley.
Okay.
I don't know how long they finished it in the sherry barrel, but we'll definitely pick some of that
sherry kick. Oh, you know what? Little sherry kick on that damn midget wrestling. They should have on the female side one called Little Sherry Kick. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that one's different. That's that one that I don't go back to this bottle very often. As you can tell, I mean, it's mainly full. Yeah, maybe a quarter of it gone. But it's proofy, so I don't go for the real high proof too often.
I'm telling you, if there's some if there's somebody out there with dwarfism listening to this channel that is a female that wants to get into wrestling, I've got ideas. Come on, little sherry kick. We got it. Let's go.
Oh yeah, you go, Mr. Mom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dewberries.
Yep.
Yeah, those kind of like raspberries.
I think that's what we called them growing up, was dewberry.
Well, back in Kentucky where I grew up, we had both. We had those, and we also had normal blackberries.
Yeah.
On the
Oh
side
yeah,
of the
yeah.
roads. And then we also had like muscadine grapes and things like that grow
Oh,
on
we
it
had
too.
muscadine. Yeah.
Makes
Hell,
really good jelly and good wine.
my great uncle, I think it was my dad's uncle. Well, I think he's on here. He can correct me. Alfred had a fig tree
Yeah,
growing beside his house. God, I love them things, man. I would go get
yeah.
me a fig and eat it.
Figs
So,
are good. Now, one thing I figured out with figs, because I have them down here in Texas, is we'll take those, pick a bunch when they're ripe, throw them in the freezer, and then eat them straight out of the freezer. They don't freeze solid.
uh-huh.
Well, they kind of do, but then you take them out and set them out for just a couple of minutes, and then they're kind of soft, just slightly soft, but they're
Mhm.
crunchy and they're good.
Still got a little ice crystal in them. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes for a good, good summertime snack.
Well, it'd be a good smoothie too if you put a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
throw a little banana and some other berries up in there and blend it up. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit of simple syrup to kind of kick the flavors up a notch.
Well, nowadays you got the Crown Royal blackberry. You just throw a little of that in there and blend it up.
Now I know I was gonna have I forgot. I was just in Arkansas for a week, a little over, but I was gonna request one of those smoothies and I didn't get around to it, but they buy this peanut butter powder, the powdered, to go in, and I was really interested in trying that. But I did get a recipe. Oh, excuse me. They turned me on to a recipe. It is low carb, high protein fish sticks.
Okay.
So I looked it up online because I didn't get all the specifics, from them. And the first recipe that came up was 5 out of 5, whatever. And it said 1 can of tuna drained well.
Okay.
Now, I will caveat this by saying
In a
that
smoothie?
no, I'm sorry, I'm switching gears.
Oh,
No smoothie.
pick to
Don't think
say, yeah.
smoothie.
Yeah,
Fish
tuna in a
sticks.
smoothie doesn't
Fish
sound very
sticks.
good.
No, fish sticks. Fish sticks. I was talking about healthy. My brain, non
Okay.
sequitur. Okay, I'm over here now. Follow me. But yeah, I bounce around with that OCD. But anyway, I did make a recipe that was brought up there, and my mom's been making these low carb fish sticks. And I can
Yeah.
tell you right now, I've never thought about this, never done it before. I really actually thought in my mind this is not going to be good. And I had a can of tuna drained well, but caveat, my wife buys tuna at like the premium stuff. Like it's not
Yeah.
gray. It's actually, you can see the flakes of fish in it and all.
Yeah.
And so I drained it well. I mushed it up, put an egg in it, 1 egg, and you mix that all up. And then you set your oven. I have a little toaster oven, set it 400,
Mhm.
400 degrees, and you mix cheddar cheese. So 1 can of tuna, 1 cup of cheddar, and
Okay.
1 large egg. Mix all that together.
All
And
right.
then I put garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika in there
Perfect.
with it.
Yeah.
Mixed it all up and you can form it into these little sticks. And I put it on parchment paper in a pan, put it in the oven, 400 for 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Okay.
Dude, they come right off the parchment paper. They're little stick. Well, mine look more like footballs because I'm not good at shaping fish stick. But I made sure they were all the same height, thickness,
Yep.
And so they baked evenly. And I put a little bit of tartar and what's the other one? You dip shrimp in
Cocktail.
cocktail. I put a little tartar sauce, cocktail sauce, and I kind of dipped them in both at the same
Uh huh.
time. Oh my God, those things were good, dude. That's all I've had to eat all day. That's
Wow.
it. That's all I've had to eat. One can of tuna, one cup of cheddar, and I eyeballed the cup of cheddar, and one egg. Formed them, baked them, ate them. I was full,
Kind of
and
reminds me of salmon patties.
yeah, but there's no flour, no bread, no nothing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm hooked on these things, man.
I got you, Ben.
Paprika, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one huge tablet of Alka-Seltzer.
Well, I'm doing fine. I can tell you. No, it was good. They
I
were
got some
really
tuna in the fridge, the freezer right now. I have a friend of mine. He went down to where did he go? Cabo, San Lucas, or something.
mm-hmm.
Anyway, he went down south and went out fishing like 30 miles off the coast, and he caught some fresh tuna, and they had it cleaned up down there, froze it, brought it back here to the U.S. And he said, "Hey, you want some tuna?" I'm like, "You damn right I do." So I got a couple big chunks of tuna in the freezer right now from that, and that ain't nothing like the tuna you get in the normal store. You know, that's straight out the Gulf. It's
Hey,
good eating
Mark,
right there.
I had my turn, man. What'd you eat today?
What today?
He's being sarcastic because I just went into that spiel. But anyway, go ahead. Tell us what you ate today.
I had a little Chinese food this afternoon.
Okay.
Um, Mongolian beef and rice and an egg roll.
With or without MSG?
Oh, probably extra MSG.
Yeah, I would. I would put extra MSG. Yeah.
Earlier, I had a piece of fried chicken for lunch, which I typically don't eat lunch 90% of the time.
All right. Now that we've covered all of what we've had to eat today, let's move on to innovative aging techniques.
All right.
Okay.
Aging in the snow up there in Canada, I'm guessing.
I'm supposing it's cold up there.
Yeah.
Canadian distillers use the country's varied climate, varied,
Yeah,
and
very.
geography to their advantage, employing innovative techniques to draw out unique flavors from the barrel. There's something called elemental aging. So let's get into that. Some distilleries, like Bareface, age their barrels in repurposed shipping containers. Excuse me, exposed to the extreme fluctuations of the Canadian wilderness. This rapid temperature cycling forces the liquid to expand and contract more aggressively into and out of the wood for an X rated version, extracting and developing unique flavors. So, elemental aging.
I don't think that they're aging stuff nearly as fast up there as we are down here in
No,
Texas.
it's going to be a hell of a lot slower. You
I mean,
know,
it was
Sure.
more than 30-degree temperature change today. I mean, I got up this morning, it was 63
Oh yeah,
degrees, and by this afternoon, it was over 95, 98 degrees by this afternoon.
Gordon
So,
Ramsay. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. You donkey. put put two pieces of bread on your face. What I have? A stupid sandwich, an idiot sandwich. Yeah, whatever. I'm not Gordon Ramsay. He says, I saw bare face. Wrong bar.
uh, what what food goes good with whiskey? Most of it.
All of it. What food goes good after whiskey? All
Yeah,
of it.
all of
Well,
it.
and greasier and fattier than normal.
Yeah,
The next part of this is wild cask experiments. So
wildcat.
Canadian law is flexible about the type of barrels used for aging.
Really?
In contrast to the strict new charred oak, right,
Well,
requirement.
that's bourbon, though.
Right, of bourbon, right. So distillers leverage freedom by using, and that takes us to the next page.
I mean, some of
They
the
use Hungarian oak, ex-French oak red wine cask, sherry cask, and used bourbon barrels. That's the primaries that they use.
yeah, and I kind of like that. Using the ex bourbon. Well, that's what Scotch does too, and Ireland and everybody else. They
Yep.
use a lot of
Yep, my pen.
used whiskey barrels, basically, so you don't get as much of the vanilla and your caramel and your the barrel char. You don't get as
Right.
much of it, and you can age it longer in those barrels.
Well, and a used barrel is going to give up the least amount of wood sugars. It's already
Yeah.
given it up.
Most of it, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
He
But
said wrong bar or the wrong end of the bear. Yeah.
a bare face once. Oh. Yeah. I mean, as far as Canadian whiskey goes, some of it's been fairly decent, and I enjoyed Crown and Coke for quite a few years, and then got away from it and got experimenting with all these other different whiskeys, and drinking them neat, and then went back to Crown and went, oh, this is just not that good,
Yeah.
at least for my expanded palate now.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Yeah. Yeah, and that's another thing is I was trying to get like my son, he's developing a more complex palate early
Hmm.
because here I am 56 years old and hell I've only been serious about whiskey for probably I call it 16 years, but not even I've gotten more serious about it over those years.
Hmm.
So you start at 40, 42, whatever, age, and I started realizing, wow, there's some good times here. There's some good flavors. There's some good stuff
Yep.
here that I've just been glossing over. And I started getting into it more. And I always knew base deep down, man, I really like the flavor of whiskey, but I couldn't put a finger on what it was that I really liked.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to get him into it a little earlier so he can develop even a better
There you
distinction,
go.
as he gets older.
Well, I mean, for me personally, I was raised in Western Kentucky. So I was raised around moonshine and Kentucky bourbon, basically. And that's what I knew, other than beer, growing up. And now, years and years later, that I've moved away from there and uh, started trying different things, and then getting on to whiskey tube and getting
Yeah.
samples of different stuff that I could try and go, oh, well, that's different. And, like a lot of these different scotches and stuff. I'm like, even at lower proofs, like 80 to, 100 and 100 plus, some of these different scotch, different ones, they have great flavors to them. Even at a lower proof, the scotch has a different flavor to it compared to a lot of the whiskey, the bourbon. It's basically all the same flavors. It's a bourbon, it's vanilla, it's caramel, it's
It's
barrel, it's,
very
it's the
regulated.
same thing
Yeah.
over and over and over, just in a different name. So
That's
I've enjoyed
Texas
it.
barbecue. That's Texas barbecue. If you go to a place in Texas and eat barbecue, it
Mhm.
all tastes pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they run you out of Texas.
Yeah, it's kind of all burned up, as far as I'm concerned. I'm used to making Kentucky style
Mhm.
barbecue. Well, we'll smoke it, whatever meat it is. I don't care if it's chicken, if it's pork, if it's turkey, whatever. I can put it on my pit, cook it up, smoke it for you, and it'll fall off the bone tender, but it's not going to be black. And Texas barbecue,
it's black.
It's basically black when you pull it off the pit. When they pull it off the pit. So it tastes really good and smoky for the first couple of bites, and you go brr, and you belch up smoke for the rest of the day.
Yep.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
And
it was refreshing coming out here. I'd tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure Virginia, where you're at, the barbecue's slightly different, and their barbecue sauce is different as well.
I'm in west part of North Carolina, so west and east North Carolina is different. West, the coastal or east, the coastal North Carolina is more mustard based, and here it's more vinegar red base. Not quite, and some of them isn't vinegar at all, but it's that red base barbecue sauce, ketchup base. Put it that way.
I think Kentucky was more like vinegar mustard based because a lot of the barbecue up there was either pork or lamb or goat. But we didn't have a whole lot of beef cooked up there back when I was living up there. They're getting more into brisket and stuff nowadays.
See, he beat me to it. Sugar Kitty. Well, I read Smokey Belcher, and then I was going to say, wasn't that my shop class teacher? But then he put industrial arts teacher.
Yeah. Wait, my way I cook meat on the pit is a dry rub, and then I'll smoke it on the pit at around 250, but around 220 to 250, right in that range, for about 6, at the most about 8 hours. And then I'll either wrap it or tin it in tin foil or something like that, and then finish off the cooking so that it's done. But it doesn't get any more smoke to it, Yeah. And then here, I don't cook like the Texas people do. I don't cook with post oak and mesquite and all this other stuff. I use pecan because it's the only decent, nut wood that I have down here that's not, overloading. And I use some wild cherry that I cut in Kentucky and brought with me down to here.
Well,
so you have a little bit of that sweetness, and then a little bit of the pecan wood.
It's not the time. We do a 220 smoke for as long as it takes, but we probe the meat with a temp probe.
Oh, okay.
And when that meat hits 155, you pull it and put it in or you wrap it, but I put it in a tinfoil disposable pan, pour a little apple cider vinegar or apple juice or apple cider or whatever in there with it, wrap it all up, leave the probe in and just crimp the tinfoil around it, put it back on there, and then go to 205.
Okay.
When it hits 205, it's falling off the bone good. You can shred that. You can pull your pork apart. You can do whatever. That's
honestly, I've never used a meat probe or anything like that for when I'm cooking on the pit. It's all by feel. I can reach down there and grab the brisket or grab the turkey or the pork butt or whatever. Go squeeze, 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 squeeze. Oh, that's done.
He said 420 smoke. Well, I don't think I would want to have a 420 smoke on my Boston butt. That would be bitter. But yeah.
And liable to wipe you out pretty quick. Yeah, the mutton from Owensboro. That's what one of the things they cook back home. I didn't care much for the mutton. It's a bit too gamey for me.
Gamey? Oh,
I like lamb.
Yeah.
I don't care for mutton as much, but they do in Owensboro and in Hopkinsville. They do a really good mutton. There's a couple of places I know of there that makes really good smoked mutton.
Well, and mutton, but the difference, if anyone doesn't know, the difference between lamb and mutton is age.
It's just the
So
age.
anything below a 1 year old is lamb. Anything
Mm-hmm.
over 1 year old is mutton.
Yeah.
And there's a degree to it. It's like the spectrum, right, of things. The older it gets, the more gamey it gets.
Yeah.
And at 12 months old, they call it mutton, but you may not be as game. But if you get a 14-month old, it's going to be more
Yeah.
gamey, you know.
You get a couple-year-old mutton, and it's
That's strong. That's strong.
it's strong. It's kind of greasy. It's different. I mean, it's kind of an acquired taste, kind of like Scotch. A lot of the smoky Scotches, it's kind of an acquired taste sort of thing.
Well, I grew up eating wild game, so I love it. I love I love a 16-month mutton. Yeah,
Probably
yeah, hit
true.
the chair. Yeah.
Mainly top dogs, mutton.
All right, let's do this production. No, wait. Creative freedom. Well, that's what we were on, right?
Yeah, goat. Goat's pretty good. I mean, there's not a whole lot of meat on a goat, really. I I worked as a butcher for a while, so I've cut up plenty of goat. There's not a whole lot of meat on a goat. There's more meat on the deer than there is on goat.
Okay, wait. We were on the ingredients. So, I
Oh,
mean,
sorry,
artistry.
completely sidetracked. Sorry.
Let me get this next one. Territorial and local ingredients. Canada's. Wait, did I just go over this? Canada's vast, geographically diverse landscape offers a range of local ingredients and environments that artisan distillers can draw upon to imbue. I know I didn't do this because I didn't read imbue their whiskeys with a unique sense of place. Regional grain variations. Whiskeys from different provinces, such as Alberta's spicy high rye expressions or Ontario's corn heavy ones, can reflect the agricultural heritage of the region. Then there's localized influences. Craft distilleries in provinces like Quebec may incorporate local ingredients like maple or apple to create a distinct regional character. Some distillers also emphasize their pristine, locally sourced water. Where have we heard that before? Kentucky.
Mm,
All right, I'm going to X this part out. Limestone and the other one is the Colorado Rocky Mountain piss water or whatever they call it. We got one more section to go in artistry. We want it. Let's save it. You are deep in thought. Oh, we go. Let's save this last one here. I have to go run to the restroom. I'll be
all
right
right.
back. I'm drinking water.
Yeah, there you go. Then that brings up my question of what are y'all sipping on? I mean, we're talking about all kinds of different stuff to eat, but what are y'all sipping on? I know Peter White was sipping on a little bit of Canadian whiskey. Should kitty up and nice. Yeah, venison's really good eating, but I ate plenty of that. And now that I got down here to Texas and I tried Axis, much better than venison. Rocky Mountain oysters. Hey, don't knock those nuts until you try them. Let's see. Quebec is the home of Valleyfield Distillery, prime suppliers from Found North. Oh, okay. I like Found North. That's some pretty good whiskey right there. I have tried some of that. I don't think I have any Found North now. One that I've had found recently was Starwood, which I think is what's it, Australian? Yes, Australian, and that's really good stuff. If y'all haven't tried that stuff, Starwood. If you can find you a bottle of that stuff, pick that up and try it out. It's good stuff. Matter of fact, I'll set the order on the side. I'll have some of that in a minute. Don't like gamey meat? Yeah, I don't either. Starward, Ward. Starwood was a amphitheater in Nashville, Tennessee. Sorry. Yeah, gamey meat I don't care for either. What I've found out through the years is a lot of your gamey meat is partially because of how it was killed and cleaned.
Gamey flavor mostly comes from what they eat.
Partially that too, yes.
I mean, it's like that's why they corn feed.
Mm-hmm.
It gets rid of the gaminess.
Oh, Jerry J slipping on White Lightning.
White
There you go, buddy. Good stuff. Some of the best White Lightning I've had, in the last couple of years came from Florida, surprisingly. I've been sitting on a 14 and a half year Sullivan's Cove, Tasmania. Oh, I've never even heard of that one, Peter White. We don't get Tasmanian whiskey around here very often, though, I mentioned that it's the Trail's End. Oh, okay. I got you.
All right, are we ready for this last section of artistry?
Yep, whoop it on me.
All right, let's whoop it on it. Creative freedom and small batch artisanship. So, the flexibility of Canadian whiskey regulations combined, and I said some of this would be repetitive. I'm trying to stretch Canadian out for an hour and a half here. So, the flexibility of Canadian whiskey regulations combined with a growing craft distilling movement has encouraged smaller producers to innovate in ways that larger distilleries cannot. Some craft producers are creating single malt whiskeys or experimenting with barrel aged gins, pushing the traditional definitions of what Canadian whiskey can be. These artisan distillers often highlight their unique methods, where have we heard that before, ingredients and connection to their local environment, giving each bottle a distinctive story that differentiates it from mass production spirits. How is that any different from any wine, whiskey, any kind of spirit? Everybody has their own damn story. Come on.
Yeah.
There's Castle and Key. There's Four Roses with all the love story that's not true. There's fuck, come on. We don't want the story. We want good juice. And if the juice is good, we'll listen to the story. So anyway, I had to throw that in there. So. Oh, the brine. Oh, he's talking about soaking meat in brine. He said, I soak squirrels in salt butter. Yeah, brine. Well, we brine our turkey every year.
Yep.
Take that big turkey pot and cook it up to
brining, or like you do with catfish. Soak it in buttermilk or something like that.
Well, buttermilk draws the blood out,
and
that's why when you put buttermilk, it turns pink. When you leave it in there, it's drawn. But it also, like liver. Liver has an irony blood flavor to it, and if you soak it in buttermilk, it doesn't get rid of it, but it brings it down.
Oh, well, I'm not the big liver guy. I like liver as far as like boudin.
Yeah, marketers need jobs too. Yeah.
I like a good boudin, especially a Texas style or a Louisiana style, spicy boudin.
Yeah.
What's more, mainly like chicken liver and rice.
Oh, I like and duck
You know?
liver, the pate.
Oh, I've never tried it.
Oh my god! Well, you can do a chicken liver pate. It has to be a bird. It's milder. The liver is a lot milder in a bird than it is.
So you mean is this Utah? I don't know.
Yeah,
Making my turkey and buttermilk. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I've not tried putting the turkey in buttermilk, but I have put it in like a salt, like he does with a salt brine.
well,
In
the
a cooler with salt and like some wine or something like that. Let it soak overnight, and that works out really well.
oh yeah, now I'm telling you, the acidity in buttermilk because there's a lot of acid in buttermilk. It really tenderizes the meat, but it does bring the gaminess out of it as well.
Which is make scrapple. Oh, I've never tried it. Never tried scrapple. And John Braunschweiger? No, I don't. No, I haven't tried it. Well, I take it back. I did not care for it years ago, but I have not tried it in years.
I dated Duck Patty in high school.
It might be okay. I mean, I just haven't tried Braunschweiger in many, many years.
Sure, that wasn't Patty Duke.
Mm-hmm.
The long lost cousin of Patty Duke.
Oh, the buttermilk soak on a good fried steak. Well,
liver cheese. Oh,
liver cheese. What is that?
Oh, it's so good, man.
Really? I'm not a liver guy, So I'll give it a shot, but
I like liver. I'm probably iron
like liver and
challenged.
onions.
I don't know.
I've cooked up plenty for other folks, but I don't care for it myself.
To a point, they say if you crave something, eat it because your body is telling you it needs that thing, right?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And maybe, I mean, the doctor's he's ran my numbers and he's told me I'm good, but I may be good because I eat liver when I crave it. And maybe I'm iron challenged. I don't know, but you can get a lot of iron, from that. And I don't know, but I eat it when I crave it. I'll go buy it and eat it.
There you go. I don't ever have a craving for liver.
Well, and some things I have a craving for just because I freaking like it. I like salt. I like the brininess of olives. And have you ever eaten olive loaf? The ham processed ham with the olives slices in it?
Yeah,
man, I love that shit, dude. I love olives, but I also like a high end charcuterie board. With all the smoked meats and the cured meats and the different cheeses and olives and all on it. But I don't want to spend $500 to get a little hit. I want to spend $250 on an olive loaf and eat it on a sandwich. And
there you go. I'm not a liver guy, not with that whiskey intake. Yeah. I keep telling my liver, shut up, you're fine.
Well, give your liver some liver, man.
It's fine. It don't need any extra liver. Come on. I'll go to my buddy down the road, Cajun Stuff down here in Austin, and I'll get some like stuffed chickens or something like that. What he does is he'll take like a whole chicken, and he'll debone it, and then he'll stuff it with boudin.
Oh, damn.
And then wrap it back up. And then you put the whole thing in your oven, cook it up, and you wind up with, a chicken that you just slice up into chunks, and you got your chicken and boudin at the same time. It's fantastic.
Man, we're talking more food than Canadian whiskey.
I know it. Well, you know
why?
Canadian whiskey is like,
because we pretty much covered Canadian whiskey, but we still have flavor profile to cover. And I think we've covered everything 3 times. I mean, Canadian whiskey is blended whiskey that they have a lot of leeway with, and they can add color to it. They can add sherry and wine. And they can add I mean, add a chicken leg in there. I don't know.
Oh yeah, who knows? My father ate olive oils when I was a kid, and I thought it was disgusting. Yeah, there you go. I love black olives.
Well, I like black olives, green olives, purple olives. I've had, man.
What was that? Oh, man, I love charcuterie.
Oh, charcuterie. That's the board that you lay out with the cured meats, all
Oh, I got you.
cheeses and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's good eating right there now.
a good a good board. Oh man, but some of that stuff takes
Yep.
ages to make, and it's expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, the different sausages and the dried meat and stuff like that. Oh
Oh, I had one in Nashville that had cured duck breast on it, along with other meats. Oh my god, it was amazing. It was amazing. And
yeah.
we had this basil old fashioned. It was a smoked basil. They smoked basil and blew it into the drink, and then they put
Really?
a crumpled up, like they mushed up a maple basil leaf, fresh one, and laid it right over the top. And so sensationally, the first hit you got in your nose was basil,
Mm-hmm.
and then and with those meats and that,
Heck
oh
yeah.
wow,
Yeah. Surprisingly, I think a year or two ago, I had some basil growing. What where you visited me up on
yeah,
the hill? I had a big basil plant growing there, and I thought, I'll throw a piece of this off in my iced tea. So I grabbed a piece of that basil, went, smacked it in my hand, kind of rubbed it around a little bit, tossed it off in my iced tea, mixed that in there, and it was surprisingly good.
it's nice. And basil too. You can just do Roma tomato, mozzarella, and
Yep.
basil, and make
Heck
a
yeah.
pizza with it,
Heck yeah.
and leave them in slices. Don't like mush everything up, and just
Oh
put a
no.
little olive oil over the crust with maybe a dash of salt over there, and then lay your ingredients on there.
Heck yeah.
Oh my God, that's as long as
Uh,
if the bread's good, it's good.
there you go. That's good stuff right there.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Jerry Jade said lemon basil is great, and I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you this: I've had a fresh made lemonade in Italy that had basil incorporated into the lemonade.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Yeah, it's you got to know your amounts. You know.
Another thing that's really good in tea is oh shit, what is it? It's a shit. I can't think of the name of it now. I had it on the tip of my tongue and forgot. It's a berry that grows on a tree, like a cone. Whiskey is a thing. Sumac.
Oh, sumac. Oh, the purple
Yeah, the
berries. Yeah.
purple big cone, not the white ones. Those are poisonous. But the purple, the big purple, kind of
Yeah, they grow. Yeah,
kind of
they grow in a
reddish.
big cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that added into your tea is really tasty. It gives it a nice, real floral and kind of sour flavor to it. It's really good.
Yeah, rosemary has a barky, earthy, woody note to it. It goes
Hmm.
really well with lamb,
Yeah, not the white.
especially lamb that's around the mutton stage.
Yeah,
Rosemary pairs very well with
yeah.
more
Rosemary and mint. Mint
yeah,
is
a
a really
fringe
good
of
thing to have with lamb.
yeah, lamb. Yeah.
I love lamb chops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, sumac is something we hated when I was hunting in Arkansas. That poison sumac got all
Yeah.
over us,
Oh yeah,
and
it'll tear you up like poison ivy.
yeah, it
It's
will.
nasty. But the regular, the big, the kind
Yeah,
of reddish group of berries. It makes like a cone about that big around and about this tall, just kind of shaped like a cone funnel sort of thing, and that's really good.
But that poke salad,
And poke, yeah, young poke, yeah, that's really good eating too.
yeah.
Mix that up, boil it a couple of times, and mix it
Well,
up
a
with
lot
some
of that
eggs.
shit's poisonous, though. And you blanch it a few times and get rid of
Mm-hmm.
all that, and then you cook it.
Yep.
And, I'm kind of like, I mean, some of this shit, we always like to make fun of the Japanese for doing sushi out of blowfish. Well,
Yeah.
if you cut the wrong thing, you're going to kill your customer. But
Yep.
hell, some of the shit I grew up eating, if you cook it wrong, you kill your customer. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Well, most of the stuff, I grew up eating. It was all stuff that was you had to go out and kill it most of the time, or go out and harvest it yourself. Because it was all in the woods or things like that. So, including the moonshine, it was all out in the woods.
Yep.
I mean, the land that my parents owned in Kentucky, we were out walking through the woods, cleaning stuff up, and making trails to ride the 4-wheelers on, and trails for the tractor to get back in there to get the dead stuff that would fall down, the different trees that would fall. We needed to harvest that to provide wood for the house because that's what we heated the house with. We didn't have a heater, we had a wood burning stove. We didn't have a whole house, air conditioning heating system.
Do you know where aspirin came from?
Willow bark.
Yep, willow. Well, that and the root, willow root and bark,
Yeah,
the inner bark, not the hard bark, but
the
that
cambium
layer in between. Yeah,
Yeah.
that and the roots. That's where aspirin comes from,
Mm-hmm.
and they would make those. And yeah, you drink a few of those. It may not intoxicate you, but it'll make you feel no pain.
It's like those BC powders. You're like, those are just horrible. I can't drink that stuff. It makes me. That's just bad.
No, I like BC.
It's like tonic water.
I keep that big. Well, I do BC powder because it has aspirin and caffeine.
Yeah.
So I dump it in my mouth and I just pick up my bottle of water and drink it down. Oh, they're going to burn me as a witch. Well, okay. They can do it. All right. We're going to get to the last one because we're after 8:00. The last one is flavor profiles.
Yeah, they're kind of lacking in that. But
well,
give it a shot.
We're going to get into it here. And I didn't do the whole move us up and down bullshit.
I got you.
All right. Canadian whiskeys generally have a lighter, I think we can agree on that, smoother and less aggressive taste than many American whiskeys.
Yep.
The specific flavor profile can vary widely depending on the blending and aging choices, with the common notes including, here are the notes: corn lends sweetness, vanilla, and caramel. Rye adds spiciness with hints of pepper, fruit, and cinnamon. Oak contributes baking spice, honey, and toasty flavors. Cask variants use of different barrel types, such as ex-bourbon or fortified wine cask, can introduce notes of hazelnut, dried fruit, or coffee. I'm just reading you what the research brought me. Marking these out now so I know where I am. Now, let's speak amongst yourselves. I think that's with any whiskey, though. Well, some of it. And then, the longer you leave it in.
Yep. Sometimes the longer you leave it in, it's better. Sometimes it can get a little more oaky on you.
Now, Peter White says, what would he say? No lacking in flavor in this Great Plains 22 years.
Wow. And 5-year cognac. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Strawberry rhubarb.
Well,
Man, we got on
rhubarb,
this food kick, and I'm just getting hungry now.
I'll tell you this, rhubarb has a very, very mild sweet flavor, but it
Mm,
pairs really well with strawberry,
yep.
like as a base. Yeah, it does.
Oh, I need
And it's
something,
pink, you know.
something different. Let's see here. We'll go with.
You gonna leave are you gonna fucking leave Canada with
Yeah,
this?
I'm gonna have to. I can't help it. I'm about to leave Canada and go somewhere else. I don't know if I'm gonna do. Here we go. We'll go with the old school American mellow corn.
He said the longer you leave it in, are we back in Utah? You know, I'm trying to avoid the subject of Utah because of the Charlie Kirk thing. I'm
Yeah.
you know, the only thing I'm going to say about the Charlie Kirk thing is quit fucking shooting people.
Quit what?
Quit shooting people. Charlie Kirk got killed
Yeah.
by a sniper. And to me, I don't care about politics. I don't care about any of that shit. Quit fucking shooting people. Come on.
Mm,
You know.
well, if you'll notice my shirt, I'm not sure if you can read it.
Yeah, it's all about the love.
Everything else just smoke and mirrors.
That's right. And then you got a big circle where they can name.
That's fine.
Hey. Right? Yeah.
I agree with you. Just ain't no sense in killing somebody.
No. Well, I'll tell you this. I don't care. I don't really. I don't care what side they're on.
I ain't
I don't.
political. I don't. I'm not for any political party.
I
I'm not
don't.
Democrat. I'm not
No.
Republican, and I don't care to
I'm
either for either one of them.
independent, but I'll tell you this: I don't care what you can disagree with somebody all day long,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Don't fucking shoot people,
No,
okay?
there's no sense in it.
Frick, there's other ways to deal with shit, and I'll tell you this: anybody that's going to pick up a weapon, and I've done this in the military now, and I had orders, and I'll tell you this. When you're in the military, you understand orders. You understand your rights. You understand what protects you. You understand what gets you in trouble. They make sure you understand this stuff. And you shoot somebody over there, you better know you're good. Okay. With that
Yeah,
said, that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm like Forrest Gump. That's all I'm going to say about that. But
yeah,
with these fuckers here, we're a developed nation. Come on, people.
yeah.
There's ways to
People
handle stuff.
like John says, if you disagree with them, that's fine. Disagree and just keep on scrolling.
But
You don't have to
on
go off and get all butt hurt about something and go try to kill somebody
but
because you fucking disagree with them. Who
I'm gonna
cares?
say this. Also,
Disagree.
quit trying to figure out. So I wish both sides would do this because I'm an independent registered. I wish both sides of the two-party system we have would agree that I don't care which side they're on. If they pick up a gun and shoot someone in the chest, they're not right in the freaking head. Okay. That
Yeah,
individual that decided to do that, whether they were right, left, middle, whatever, they are weird. They
They're off.
They're off.
Yeah, they're off, and their thinking is off, and they need to rearrange.
Yeah. Now, with all
Yeah,
that said, I'm not going to tackle that. I'm not going to tackle that situation. It was horrible. I don't know. I mean, I found out who Charlie Kirk was over the last 2 days.
They don't need to be. People don't need to be posting. Granted, there was a lot of people there that got video and stuff like that. They don't need to be posting that shit online. People don't need to be scrolling through shorts on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. And it's always a cute little dog, and then next thing you see is his ass getting freaking shot. What the hell? That's fucking stupid. It's people are getting desensitized to killing.
Well, what pisses me off is when something tragic happens like that. And I know I'm kind of off topic, and this is about as political as I'm going to get on this channel, because I'm not really a political person. I don't do that. But I will say this. When both sides, and I'm talking about Republican, Democrat, if you want to call it left, right, whatever you want to fucking call it. When something tragic happens, instead of us all stopping and taking a moment and looking at Charlie Kirk as a human being, and Charlie Kirk had a family and a family tree and people that cared about him and all this shit.
He had a wife and a couple of young girls.
They try to jump in and say, "Oh, it was this side or that side. It was," and there's all this, and I'm like, just fucking shut up. Somebody died, baby. Come on. I don't care who it was. Somebody died.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing.
Take a breath. Back off. Quit trying to win a football game here. Somebody freaking died. Stop. And back off. But they don't back off. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, and like John is saying, people they would rather film with their fucking iPhone or whatever, the shit that's going on, than help the fucking person.
I'll tell you this too.
Stop that shit. Intervene, help. That's why. As a Texan now, I mean, I was a Kentuckian for many years, and we believe in gun rights up there as well. But down here in Texas, I have the right to pack a gun all the time, and I freaking do. So if I see somebody, doing some stupid shit out here, shooting people or whatever, you best believe I'm going to be capping that ass, because I ain't putting up with that bullshit. That's bullshit. We don't need to be, as Americans, we don't have to put up with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, and I don't need to defend their own people.
Yeah.
And people are not doing that.
This is me right here. People are already saying why it happened, and they haven't even caught the guy yet. Right. Yeah. Look, shut the fuck up.
It don't make a difference why it happened. The person that did it was delusional, and he was thinking of this, that, or whatever. I don't care. He was wrong. He should not be killing a person.
Yeah, anybody. I don't care who they are. You're wrong when you shoot somebody in the chest, especially like.
I mean, he was Charlie. He was just a guy. He's just some guy that's spouting his own views on stuff, and that's perfectly fine. We have the First Amendment here. You can say whatever the hell you want to.
Right, people getting killed all the time. And it's like you said, some kids shot a couple of kids in Colorado the same day.
Yeah, and they didn't mention that because this guy was a bigger freaking draw for people to mention.
Politics needs to move out of the way when somebody gets shot or somebody dies or there's a school shooting or whatever. Just to but that's what they thrive on. That's why I call them leeches. Leeches. Yeah. Politicians are fucking leeches. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care. They just shook the blood out of the story. Anyway, we're way off topic, but that's it. That's it. That's why I'm not political.
Okay, I'm gonna tip my mouth. I ain't saying nothing about.
Yep. Zip in the
All
mouth right now. Yeah, done. All right, we're on to production methods. All right, here we go. We got very little time left, and I got very little stuff to cover. Anyway, that's all I'll say about that. I'm not trying to make any money off.
We weren't planning on getting sidetracked with that stuff.
Nope. But that it came up, and I've had enough to drink. I figured I would give my 2 cents on that because I'm not a leech. I'm not going to jump in and create a video about Charlie Kirk. I didn't even know before yesterday. All right. Production methods. Let's talk about that.
All right, then.
Canadian whiskey distilleries often have their own specific methods, but a common practice involves, all right, distilling grains separately. We talked about, I told you there would be some repetitive shit here. Instead of a single mash bill, they often produce each of their whiskeys and then blend them together. Right.
Yeah. Which is an interesting way to do things too.
Yeah. And the 2 types are base whiskey, the higher proof. Just remember, Canadian base whiskey, higher proof, and distill it down with these other whiskeys.
Yeah, tone it down with the blend, yes.
Yeah, so you could have a really high corn whiskey and then come in with a wheat whiskey. It would be like me or us doing mellow corn with Bernheim wheat and some 100% rye and making something out of it, type thing. All right. And then the flavoring whiskey, lower proof. Whiskeys are
on the mellow corn right now, and it would be good as a blend.
It would. The whiskeys are then blended together after maturation to achieve desired flavor and consistency. The last topic, and it's 8:22, is notable Canadian whiskey brands. And I am going to go to the bathroom one more time because I'm drinking a lot of water.
Oh,
and I'll be right back. Let me tell you the brands.
Sex practices. I don't remember that, Ben.
Let me tell you the brands. Crown Royal, Canadian Club, JP Weiser's, 40 Creek is what I'm drinking, and Alberta Premium. Those are the notable brands.
Okay. Now, Alberta Premium, I've heard of, and I've seen a few of those. I have not actually bought one to try. I mean, like I said earlier, I was a Crown Royal guy back in the day, but it was just like Crown and Coke. That was my mixed drink of choice. But I haven't tried a lot of the different Canadian ones. The last few that I tried today were not very flavorful. Cheers, William Hall. Good to see you, sir. I have no idea what y'all are sipping on now, but I'm finishing the last of this mellow corn off here, which would be a really good blend. If you used mellow corn with some other stuff, you could probably make a pretty tasty blend. Legacy distillery and Canada. Yeah, I can see that. They're limited releases. The stuff that they're really proud of, that's what they're going to put out as a limited release because they've taken the time and, made something tasty that the rest of us will be like, oh, yeah, that's pretty damn good. CC.
All right, I'm back.
2 days in bed. Yeah. Seagram 7 was my drink of choice back when I was in school, high school. era. Me and my buddy John Pruitt. He was a great friend of mine, and me and him used to drink a lot of Seagram 7. Ben finally got me this one bottle of Seagram's VO that I sipped on earlier, and that was for John. You know, I don't drink that very often. I have shared it with a few other people because it's as old as it is. You know, it's 1960s. You know, vintage. So it's neat to be. It's neat to try something that old. Jason's under 30 bracket. No, James, I haven't seen that.
Do you want me to read what it says about these brands?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start with Crown Royal. It says it is a popular blended Canadian whiskey known for its smooth, rich, and robust flavor. I would have to agree to disagree. I would say a popular blended Canadian whiskey, full stop. Well, okay, maybe known for being smooth, full stop. Full stop. It is smooth because no flavor. I mean, my bottle of water is smooth. This goes down smooth. Rich and robust flavor, I think I would leave off. What do you think about that? Well, I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So can Crown Royal? It's popular. I don't. No one can deny that.
No, for sure.
Right. Oh, well, outside of Canada, it's really popular.
Yeah. Yeah. Here in the U.S.
And it's smooth. It's as smooth as that bottle of Kirkland water from Costco.
Yeah, it's smooth because it's really low proof and there's not much flavor to it.
Now, rich, nah.
No.
Robust flavor, nah.
No.
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 Now,
sorry, no.
Yeah.
It's
okay. Yeah, it's just not there.
Yeah, exactly.
Canadian
because it's 40%, which means they proof the shit out of it, and it's more water than it is actual whiskey.
I think this is probably accurate. Canadian Club. Wait, let me, it's my 2-minute warning. A well established brand offering a light bodied whiskey with hints of oak and spice. I think I could, hints,
Mm-hmm.
you know, light bodied whiskey. Okay, we can agree on that. Now,
Yeah.
JP Weiser's, I'm not familiar with. A well known Canadian brand with a range of expressions. I don't have an opinion there. Now, 40 Creek, which is what I've been sipping on, a brand that embodies the modern Canadian whiskey renaissance with innovative expressions.
A renaissance, really?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't live in Canada, so I don't know about renaissances. But I will say that it's interesting. And the last one, since we're right at time, is Alberta Premium, renowned for being made from 100% rye mash, offering a bolder and spicier flavor. But you had Alberta Premium earlier, didn't you?
No,
Oh, you didn't. What did you have
no,
earlier?
we talked about it, but I have not tried one. I've seen some around here, but I just haven't picked one up myself.
Okay, renowned for being made, and I'm thinking made from 100% rye is going to add spice and notes to it. Bolder and spicier flavor. I reserve opinion on that as well.
I
Or
don't
is
know.
it
It
just
might be all
one?
right, but that there are some Canadian whiskeys that are actually pretty tasty.
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
of
I
them
like
wind up
this 40
better
Creek.
once.
I'm telling
Well,
you.
yeah, they got to get it over at least 100 proof,
Yeah,
before
I
it gets
think
good
this.
and tasty.
I real honestly, Mark. I think if this was 95 proof,
Yeah,
not even 100, but 95, I
yeah,
think I would like it a hell of a lot better. I mean, you see, I didn't drink. I knocked the neck down to the shoulders out of it
yep.
tonight. But I think this one, the 40 Creek, and trust me, I didn't have a big choice. I think this was a good choice. But guys, we're at the end of time. Join us next week and we'll tackle another thing.
We'll tackle something else and probably throw some food in there as well.
Probably. All right. Hey, I hope y'all had a good time.
Yep. Peace, love, and whiskey, y'all. Love you.
All right. Peace.
Cheers.